Good morning, Brandy. Good morning, Miss Robin. I see you made it in, Brandy, this morning. Hey, you changed me. You welcome, my girl. You changed me. It's so funny because my husband hates this song, not because they played it out on the radio, but I still love it. Good morning, Special K. Them folded. It's called Folded by Kaylani. She told him to come get his clothes. They already folded, baby. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, I hope everybody had their coffee. I hope they're having a great start to your week. And I'm gonna just jump into it. I don't want to be all day. Y'all know it's court tomorrow for Holly. Um, and y'all know God is good all the time. So anyway, injustice for Meeks. But I want to talk about this story that I was watching, y'all, and I got the shortest clips to show y'all. But I wanted to talk about this story. It happens in Orange County, North Carolina. It was an 18-year-old, I want to say, or he's 17-year-old Issiah Ross. He unalived 14-year-old Lyric Woods and Devin Clark. And he actually claimed self-defense, but it didn't go that way. And in his I would say defense, like that's why it kind of tripped me out. I'm gonna be real because I feel like the story he told, the story that he say how it happened, it really could have been self-defense. Um, but I'm gonna tell y'all why it wasn't. And there was actually a weapon involved for the person that he unalived. They did have a weapon. Um, Now, when it comes to North Carolina laws, they are kind of similar to Illinois laws, right? Um, North Carolina and Illinois, they both allow deadly force for self-defense against imminent danger, right, or great bodily harm. They do not have a duty to retreat. Um, and then it says North Carolina, though, they have the stand your ground law, which is another reason I was like, dang, I would have thought that his is more self-defense than Holly's, right? But I'm gonna show y'all what happened, what was said, and what the judge said. So let's talk about it real quick. Let me pull it up. Oh shit. Let me bring it over here. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. So this is the testimony right here of the
Welcome to the next generation of website creation. Wix Harmony. Get the power of AI and the freedom of drag and
live.
drop to turn your words.
So he actually
Mr. Clark, how
unalived
do
a
you know
boy and a
Devin?
girl.
He's my son.
Let me see if I can turn it up.
I know
This
this
was
is
very
difficult, so
emotional,
we'll just take it
y'all.
as slow as you need to go, okay?
Was
Hold on. My
Mr.
bad.
Clark, how do you know Devin?
he's my son.
I know this is difficult, so we'll just take it as slow as you need to go, okay? When was the last time that you saw Devin?
I don't know the actual date. I don't know the actual date. But I do know it was a few days before the weekend, and I laid down to go to sleep, and he was in his room. That's all.
And at some point, did you report Devin missing? And when did you do that?
Probably a little later on, maybe like a day or two later. I noticed that I hadn't heard
Hey,
anything
Shalene.
from him, so I called and reported him missing.
Had you tried to call him during that intervening time?
I did. I didn't want to think nothing was wrong, so I kind of just pushed it like to the side a little bit.
Okay. So as I said, this is very, very emotional. I'm not gonna lie, I cried when I first watched it. So basically, he is telling a story of when he realized that his son hadn't came home, he was missing. He's also gonna tell us how he did actually, his son is the one who was unalive. He's gonna tell us how his son actually did have a GUN, right?
Was it had Devin done this before where he'd been gone all weekend?
No, he would usually leave sometimes with his friends and
Thank
come
you,
back,
Brandy.
but
Where are they? But listen to this.
it wasn't nothing like out of the ordinary.
Hey, Ron.
And when you tried to call him, what happened?
I didn't get no call from. I didn't get he didn't pick up. Whenever I tried to call him.
And do you remember what phone number you had for Devin at that time? Okay. Does 743-244-0344 sound right?
I'm not. Yeah, could be. I'm not sure.
Like the rest of us, you probably just plugged it in your phone and
Yeah.
that's what happened. So was anybody else at your house with y'all the night that you last saw Devin?
My kids were.
And did any of them tell you anything about what he did after you went to bed?
My son said he was there, and he said he got up and played with him for a little bit, and then he left. He said he didn't think anything about it. It wasn't nothing strange.
So the time of day that they left out the house was kind of strange to me. So just a little context. So basically, Devin, that's the one, that's his son, who he's speaking about. Delvin actually texts the person that unalived him and asks them, did he want to go have sex with the girl Lyric? Okay. So basically, I guess they both was supposed to be having sex with the girl Lyric. So he picked them up. He picked Delvin up, and then they went and picked Lyric up because she actually snuck out the house. She was only 14 years old. It was a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Did you know anything
Hey,
about what Devin was wearing when he left the house?
hey, Ashley.
Can you walk us through what happened on a Sunday afternoon after you reported Devin missing?
Mm,
You, just
Yeah,
you,
Brandy, you're
building your
right. You
app.
know what I'm saying? That's why we have to be
On
mindful,
base
like, of a lot
44,
of things. He couldn't,
describe it.
he couldn't
And
tell
it's
them
real.
like what his child was wearing. You know what I'm saying? We just got to keep an eye on our children more.
I
You know, and he's
uh,
hurting. Like
um
he broke me down.
I thought he was with his friends at first, because usually he wouldn't leave and just go with anybody. Um, and then I noticed that his friends all of a sudden started popping up, and um, one by one, I noticed that he wasn't with the people that I thought he was with. Um,
So my grandmother used to tell me this. She used to say, because I used to get in trouble all the time, and she used to say, um, "You, you told me you was going here, and you all the way over here, right?" And I never understood what, because she used to say, it could be an accident where you at, and that could be you, but I don't know anything because I'm thinking you all the way over here. And that never meant so much to me until now. I got little cousins where I'm like, that has lived with me, and I'm like, you telling me you one place and you at another place, and you know what I'm saying? Something could be going on over there, and I'm thinking you over here. So
and so then I guess a little bit went by, and then that's
Good
when I
morning, Miss
ended up
Lasonder.
calling.
Welcome in, babes.
Did Devin have well, obviously he had a cell phone. And have you seen that cell phone since Devin was killed?
No,
Did he have a wallet or anything he would carry with him?
I mean he did, but he didn't usually carry. He usually carried a bag.
Okay. Did you notice anything else missing from Devin's room?
No.
What shoes did he normally wear?
Um, it depends. He had a few. Most of the time he wears slides or something.
What kind of slides?
Nike.
I want to leave in that subject just for a minute. Talk to you about another report that you filed on the evening of September 18th regarding a firearm. Do you remember that? And can you explain what happened and what report you filed?
I reported my firearm was missing because I know that usually Devin would we would go shooting, and I let Devin. That was the gun that Devin did use when we went to go shooting. I was in a shooting club, Country Boys Therapy, and that's what we did on the weekends. And so Devin would shoot the gun there, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah,
And so at some point after he was missing, did you check to see if that firearm was where it was supposed to be?
I did. I checked, and it wasn't there, so I reported it.
What kind of gun was that?
9mm Canic.
And when was the last time you had seen it?
Maybe a week or two before then.
So basically, he and his son would go to the range and they would shoot. He seen that the firearm was missing that his son usually uses at the GUN range, right? So, mm,
Did you have any ammunition for that firearm at your house?
I did.
What kind was that? Do you remember?
Just remember, just say yes or no.
No.
When the officers came out to take this report, did you give them that ammunition?
Yes.
If I could have just a moment, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show y'all on this one. And that was just that Delvin actually did have a GUN, right? He had it from his dad. Um, I can go on to what the defense asked him if y'all want, but I just wanted to show y'all that he actually did have a firearm. And so here is, let me see.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces all of these.
Yes.
I'm
And
talking.
so listen, Brandy, on a real um it was so crazy because even the mother like of the 14-year-old girl, so I just so y'all know, he just went to trial. It was a he has been sentenced for Delvin, but it was a mistrial on the girl, which I didn't understand how was it a mistrial on the girl, because um I mean, she did absolutely nothing. Um and they could not come to a unanimous agreement on what he should be charged with. So I'm sure the prosecutors are going to take him back to trial, but they didn't know where their kids was. They didn't know where their children was. She didn't know, or anything.
Sounds fair, the testimony about to give this court and jury be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. All right, Mr. Ross, remember to stay close to that mic so everybody can hear you, okay?
So
Good
before we
afternoon,
get
Mr. Ross.
into him, so basically, I told y'all already, he claimed self-defense, and then I'm gonna let some of it play. So he claimed self-defense. He basically says, when he met Delvin, he had met him a few times. He did not know Lyric. He said Delvin pulled out a GUN, and he says Delvin shot Lyric, the girl, right, during an argument, then pointed it at him. He said he wrestled with the gun. Oh, well, I didn't say it away. He said he wrestled the GUN away from Clark and shot him in fear for his life, right? So let's listen.
Ross.
Good afternoon.
First, I want to ask you, when did you move to North Carolina?
I want to say I moved to North Carolina. Sorry about that. My sophomore year in high school.
So the girl was hit with so so basically, because his friend testified too, Brandy. I mean Roz, and I have it, but I didn't I have that part too, so I can come back with that. I just didn't want to keep y'all on. But his friend testified too, because he told his friend, which they had like another guy, they had like a little relationship. He told his friend everything. And basically he said that so once he did what he did to Devin, he turned around and shot her because she seen everything. But he lied and said that Delvin did her first.
Okay. And so would that have been around 2021?
He also skipped town after he did it.
To the best of my memory, I would say that sounds about proper.
About how old were you when you moved here?
Mm-hmm.
16 years old.
Yeah, Tyrese.
And when you first moved here, who did you live with?
I lived with my mother and her partner. At the time, we were staying at his residence,
And what was his name?
Antoine Bryant.
Did you have any other
Hey,
siblings
Jazz.
or other family members living with you?
Yes. I had 2 younger sisters and a younger brother.
And when you moved here, what high school did you go to?
I went to Eastern Elements High School. in Mebane.
I don't want to hear this part, y'all. I
It's
ain't gonna lie.
Antoine's, I believe, his younger cousin who was staying with his, I believe it was his sister. His younger cousin also went to school with us, and he was like the mutual friend, like the mediator between. If I were to hang out with him, Devin would most likely be there.
And Christian Sykes, when did you meet
Shit,
him?
you don't, Special K. And sometimes,
We
baby
met each
girl,
other.
shit, these kids
Can't
nowadays doing the
exactly tell
parent.
you when, but I know we met each other when I was at his cousin's house.
And what was his cousin's name, or who was it that you, I guess, initially started hanging out with?
His name was Thomas Blackwell.
I know you do.
And it was mentioned earlier
Shut
that you would
shut
hang
up.
out with Thomas for a while, but then you and Thomas had a falling out. Do you recall what happened there?
So, Miss Lasandra, what happened is he is claiming self-defense um of the unaliving of his friend and a girl that he did not know.
Yeah. We had just certain things had happened that I didn't necessarily agree with, and I stopped texting him, contacting him.
Never ever sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a better way to get compensated that's faster, easier.
And we never really spoke after that.
Now, after your, I guess, after you stopped hanging out with Thomas Blackwell, did you remain in contact with Mr. Sykes?
I did, yes.
Okay. And describe your relationship with Mr. Sykes. What was it? What was it like?
It was pretty basic. I know he was usually around to give me a ride if I needed a ride. You know, sometimes I'd be at work, wouldn't have a ride back from work, and kind of like he would step in and do
So
that
right now
and try to
he's
give him a
talking about
few.
his friend Christian Sykes. Christian is spilled all the beans. Christian is the one who actually told the police that he did it. Told him where he was headed to and everything, because he told Christian everything. He told him how it really, really happened. And yeah, it didn't have anything to do with.
A few dollars to fill up for the inconvenience. And besides that,
They do be taking their parents out.
that would pretty much summarize it.
Okay. So you mentioned that you were working at the time in 2022. Where were you working?
I was working at, well, I had two jobs. I was working at Bojangles across from Love's Truck Stop in Mebane, and my second job was Lowe's Foods in Mebane.
Okay. And you were saying that sometimes you would contact Mr. Sykes
I don't
and
want to
ask
hear
him
this
for a
part,
ride
y'all.
for you.
Yes.
And what about, did you have a relationship or know who Lyric Woods was?
I did not.
Had you ever
Sad.
talked to her before in person?
I did not.
What about on social media? Had you ever communicated with her in that space?
I haven't.
So in the late summer of 2022, going into the fall, were you still living with Mr. Bryan, or were you living somewhere else?
No, actually, I was staying with my mother. We had moved to Deerfield. It's an apartment complex in Mebane.
And around the time of September 2022, were you still living there?
I would say yes.
Now, on September 16th, that Friday, 2022, did someone contact you?
Yes.
Who contacted you, and what did they say?
I was mentioned in a group chat by Devin Clark. Once I had loaded on my Snapchat, I had seen that he had sent me a private message, and so I just kind of left the group chat message alone and went straight to the private message.
What did he say in the group chat?
I didn't go on it at first. I had actually went straight to our chat and read what he said there. He was pretty much asking me if I had been able to get a car and if I wanted free buns.
And so what did you know that to mean? What is free buns mean?
Y'all.
Sex.
Okay. And after
So
you
the
got
goal
that
was to
message,
actually for both of them to have sex with Lyric. I don't know if they was gonna do it separately. I don't know if they was gonna run a tray, but that was the thing. And it's sad because he's 17 and the other one is 8.
do you remember what time? Was it in the afternoon? Was it late night, early morning the next day? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was pretty late that night. I was not in really unusual time, but I was awake. I was awake a lot, so it was in the middle of the night.
Okay. And after you got that message, what did you do next?
Responded saying that I could make something happen. I agreed, and I told him I would be there.
How did you get there?
I used my mom's car, and I went
He
to
stole his
to
mother's
his house
car.
to pick him up.
So you had mentioned earlier that you didn't have a license. Did you get permission to take your mom's car?
I didn't.
Okay. And so in essence, you were sneaking out.
Yes.
How did you know how to get to Devin's house?
Well, his house was in close proximity to the other residence, which would be Antoine Bryant's house, which, I used to live there. And I kind of just typed in his address, and I knew the way when I got close to the
Yeah,
area.
he
I knew how to
lied.
get there.
And so when you
You
said you
must have
typed
seen
in the
this.
address, was this on your phone or was this on the GPS in your vehicle?
It was on my phone.
Okay. And so after you got to Devin's house, what did you say to him? What did you talk about?
Well, when I had arrived, I opened my phone to let him know that I was outside, but in the process of me about to send that message telling him that I was outside, he ended up just getting into the car.
Girl, wasn't it
And when
great?
he got in the car, where did he sit?
He sat on the passenger side.
When you picked him up, what happened next?
He got in, we acknowledged each other, shook hands. I asked him if there was an address that I was supposed to be going to. He gave me an address, and I typed it into my maps.
Okay. So after he gave you this address, you put it in the maps in your car?
No, in my phone.
Okay. And did he say who you were going to pick up?
No, he didn't.
Did he say how many people you were going to pick up?
He didn't.
So you're driving to the next location. Are you two talking about, what's going to happen that night? What was the conversation like?
Well,
Good
I had
morning,
noticed
Lachey.
on the road that I needed gas. There was hardly any gas in the car. I made that known, so that we were going to have to stop and get gas. I think he thought I was talking about marijuana, because that's another word for marijuana. But I corrected myself, kind of broke it down to him that I was talking about gasoline. He said, all right, it's fine. We can go and get gas afterward. And I was like, all right. And then he passed me a vape, and I was hitting the vape while I was driving. And that's when he asked me if I minded if he went first. And so it's kind of where I really got the idea that there was only one person that we were going to pick up. I entered into the situation thinking we were going to go pick up one person and then another person, but that confirmed that it was just one person. And so, yeah.
Couple things. When Devin got in the car, did he have anything with him?
Yes.
What did
He got in the car with a book bag.
Okay. Did he show you what was inside the book bag, or did he just kind of get in with the bag and you guys kept going on your journey?
He didn't show me what was in the book bag.
Okay. The distance from Devin's house to the next destination, was it a far ride? I know you said there wasn't a lot of gas.
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
When you got to the location, or before you got to the location, did Devin give you any instructions on what to do when you got to this next destination?
Yes, he told me, well, before the route had completed on my phone, he had told me to stop shy of the destination itself. And when I had parked the car, he told me to dim the headlights or darken the headlights. And yeah,
And you said early on in this conversation with Devin, he told you that he was gonna go first. What did you understand that to mean?
that he would be the one having sex with the girl first.
Now, was that always the understanding?
Not to my knowledge. I had originally thought we were going to pick up multiple women, two, maybe. But yeah.
Okay. And so when you got to the destination, I think you said you were supposed to dim your lights or something like that. What happened next?
I had difficulty doing that. I wasn't really familiar with the system of the car itself. And so I'm trying to dim the lights and I'm just having trouble doing it. It kind of looked like the lights were just flicking on and off.
Girl, before though, so yeah, so before Tyrese, he actually stayed with the uncle because the uncle dated his mother. So anytime that he would get into it with her, with his mom, anytime he would get into it with his mom, he would go to Delvin's uncle house. Like they fed him, they housed him and everything. Right? Yes, I got the uncle statements. I mean, like, oh, he was so mad.
Someone eventually come to the car.
Yes.
And then went to his house
In the
after the fact.
process,
Sad.
the door opened behind me
Can't
and
trust nobody.
that's when
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
who now I know is Lyric Woods who got into the vehicle.
Now, did she get in the car behind the passenger side or behind your side, the driver's side?
Hey, Issa
I
Short.
don't really recall because I was still fumbling with the light, not really knowing how to really work the system. And so I just know she got in the car.
And when she got in the car, did you have any conversation with her? Did you exchange pleasantries? What was it like when she got in?
I know her and Devin acknowledged each other when they got in the car, but as far as me, I'm trying to get this light situated. So
Okay. So you mentioned that you weren't really familiar with lights, but driving wise, was it still kind of a new experience for you driving this car?
yes, it was.
Okay. So what happens after Lyric gets in the car?
Of course, it was a new experience. He ain't had no license.
I
He
know
stole the
her
damn
and Devin
car.
acknowledge each other, and after I get the lights back on, which I didn't have to dim them anymore because she was already in the car, I asked him if there was another location we were going to. I had my maps pulled up, and he just said he'd instruct me on where to go.
And so at this point, where do you end up going after you leave this house where Lyric lives?
To the location of the incident, which was a side road. It seemed like off of Buckhorn, a rocky type of road.
Had you
This is
ever
so
been to
sad.
this
Like you
location
were really
before?
about to
I haven't.
go. You know, this is so sad just to think about. This little girl did not know her worth so much that she was sneaking out in the middle of the night to go have sex. I don't know if she knew it was supposed to be multiples, but at the end of the day, on the side of the road, like y'all,
And
we gotta
did
do
Devin
better.
give you any idea of where you're going at all?
No, he just told me to turn here or go this way.
Once you got to this rocky road, as you described it, what happened next?
I had asked him if I could use his vape while I waited, and he gave it to me. We both got out of the car. Kind of went not too far away from the car, but just enough to like give them some privacy. So,
Your Honor, at this
That's what I
time,
said.
I would ask if I could have the witness step down in order to draw a diagram for the jury.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This was a
Yes.
mistake on their side. They should have never had him stand up because Delvin was very small. He was. Mm-mm. They should have never had him stand up.
Sorry, if you need to move, you can.
Now, Mr. Ross, since we're not by the microphone, make sure you keep your voice up. All right, so
He's a big boy.
let's say that this line that I'm drawing here is Buckhorn.
Okay, so now they just asking him the location.
So Isaiah, you will be the blue mark.
Off at first and then on.
How long do you think you were standing outside of this car in front of it?
I don't really recall. I just wasn't watching the car. I was just really trying to get out of the car.
So what happens next? What catches your attention next as you're sitting there on your phone or using the bed?
I start hearing muffled voices coming from inside of the car. It sounded like feminine, so I'd say it was weird. And I wasn't really
Well, I don't think she was actually lying about her age because they all was like in the same. I know she and Delvin went to the same school. He went to a different school, so they had to know her age. He didn't. He probably didn't because he didn't know her.
really hear what was going on, and I didn't understand what was going on. So I can it.
So what happens next?
Lyric gets out of the car on this side, and that's when I can hear.
Show me what side she comes out.
I wish they would have faced that towards us.
All right, so she gets out on the driver's side passenger door.
Which
And
is
when
his
she gets
door.
out, does she get out by herself or does Devin get out in front?
He gets up behind her.
Also on the passenger driver's side.
Yeah, they came out of the same door. The door didn't close between. She got out and then.
So can you draw a circle where he would have been and where she would have been once they got out of the car?
Imagine being able to build an app
Yeah,
with your name
that's
on it
true, but
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I don't even think Isaiah asked the age. You know what I'm saying? But Devin knew.
When they got out of the vehicle on this driver's side passenger area, what was happening? What did you hear? What did you notice as you're standing?
Since the door opened, it kind of like gave. From hearing the muffled sound to when the door opened, it was like mid-sentence. It just like kind of, I guess, transfer. Once the door opened, I just was able to hear better. And since she got out, now I just hear what she's saying.
What did she say?
Well, she said that she expected more respect. It's not really word for word, but she would expect him to respect her more or something like that.
So he's saying that Lyric said that she
wasn't gonna let him push her around anymore.
Okay. So he's saying that Lyric said that she would have expected more respect than that, and that she wasn't gonna let him push her around anymore. This is what she said to Delvin.
She was probably gonna get police involved.
And how did
And that she was gonna get the police involved.
as she's saying?
Now that doesn't even sound true because you were sneaking out the house with him. You knew what grade he was in too. So that's something he made up.
He said something. I don't really remember what he said because he was moving while he said it and his back was turning. So he walks around here. He walks around and goes into the passenger side of the door. and I could see him retrieving something from the vehicle. Didn't know really what it was at first until he came back around, and I seen he had a gun in his hand.
And so when he points this gun at Lyric, what happens next?
Lyric, from what I seen, she had put her hands up and started backing up. And he was, I don't want to say on top of her, but he was pretty close to where he was walking to her pretty quickly with the gun. And it looked like she wanted to kind of come around here to take cover, I would say, behind the car. And it was around this area where I had heard gunshots. I didn't see her.
I think so too. I think that he felt like he was already in trouble. He had stole his mother's car. He had came out the house. He was already pissed. He had came out the house in the middle of the night. He went and picked y'all up. He took you. You got off, and then the girl wasn't having it, and you got angry. And that's just it. And that is just all.
Necessarily because she was around this area right here. But I did see him walk around and kind of like his back right here. That's what I heard shots.
With kind of a dotted line, show me Lyric's path of travel from where she started when she got out of the car to where she stopped.
Over the top of this.
And I also think that once they saw what was happening and that he was pissed, I think that's when Delvin actually pulled out his GUN.
So you have here showing markings from the back seat of this car to the back of the car, which eventually go past the front of the car.
After the gunshots, was paused. I could hear screaming coming from this side of the car.
Mr. Ross, I need you to speak up a little bit, back up a little further on the side so folks right behind you can see.
Your health deserves more than guesswork. At Prenuvo, our whole body MRI scans for hundreds.
So I heard the gunshots around this area. And following a pause, I can hear her screaming, and I don't see her run back down towards where Buckhorn is. So based on the sound and
Dang, she still tried. She was trying to run.
And Kevin also followed behind her. Because at this point they had re-emerged. When I had originally seen him walking to her fence, kind of, saying stuff to him, really just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And so I moved up a little bit. So I moved up a little bit. That was when I would say around here I heard gunshots. I hadn't taken that many steps. And the gunshots, they actually started me, and I back up. And they came around here. She's running.
That's so sad. She was running.
And, I'd say once they get around this area, black mark.
So what are you going to show us here when they get to this area?
There were 4 gunshots somewhere around here.
He said there were
So what are
4
you doing
gunshots.
as you are watching this happen in front of you?
didn't do anything on it. Just stuff.
So you say you're stuck when you're afraid?
Okay, so they just asked him what was he doing while he was watching this happen. Because if you was just there and you was watching this happen, car or no car, mom's car or no car, your ass would have took off running. And you also would have called the police.
Thanks.
Describe for me how you're feeling, Mr. Ross.
Shocked. I didn't, honestly, I didn't want to believe that what was happening was happening. So I didn't know.
Okay, Latte, to sum it up,
He drew.
basically him and another dude went to go pick her up. She ended up having sex with the guy, the other one that's unalived as well. When it was his turn, he said she, basically told Delvin that she deserved more respect than that. So basically, she wasn't going to have sex with him. So I feel like that is what made him unalive her. He was mad as hell. He had got out of his bed. He had took to get her. He was in hopes of getting some free buns, and it did not happen.
A circle where you said there were more shots at the fire. So does that mean that's where Devin and Lyric were at that time?
Yeah, around this area right here.
Can you draw a circle for where they would be at that location?
Well, for the record, indicated the original circle on the front passenger side of the square.
Yes, the front passenger side, which is green, is Devin, and the purple circle would be Lyric. So where would this now green circle and purple circle be, which identifies these two individuals?
Around this area right here.
And that area being the now new black circle that's in front of the car.
Yes.
And what did Lyric do after Devin did this?
She fell in this area. She was kind of just rolling around on the ground, rocking, I would say, back and forth, crying.
She's what?
Crying too.
What does Devin do next?
He comes over towards me.
The worst state to live in right now.
So what you think, Tyrese? He said Devin came.
Nobody's talking about.
He says he came over to him. Dude, why you stand there?
Asked me if I'm ready to go.
Yes, he is a liar.
And,
girl, I know that went so long that I didn't. That one is long.
This is your crap. You did this. You're gonna deal with it. I'm not going to help you. So
that was Christian Sykes, girl. That testimony was something else.
So what happens next?
He told me that I knew what time it was now.
So he says Delvin told him he knew what time it was.
What did he do? And when you say you pointed it at me, how close was it to you?
Not really far. He was kind of like where that square is.
In relation between me and you, was it closer than I am to you? In between this dry erase board, or was it further away?
A little bit closer.
And so, Devin, is he taller than you or shorter than you? And so he was pointing this gun. Was it pointed at your head, at your chest? What do you remember?
I remember looking down the barrel.
And so you're standing in the front kind of left portion of this car. Are you
girl, he lied through the whole
car?
thing.
Are you standing next to the car? How would you say your location is to this vehicle? Yes.
In this proximity right here.
So that would be the front left of the car.
Yes.
And you just drew a black circle around that location in the front left. And how did you respond to this, him pointing a gun at you and actually you just watch what happens there?
Well, after he had told me that I knew what time it was, I put two and two together. I told him I wasn't go down and do that. Except that again, I probably
They should have had him back at the mic.
do that. So I went for the gun.
Yeah, but he, and that's a problem. People talk too much. People talk too much.
Sources, facial area in my head at him.
Because he told that boy everything.
You said you got your hand on the gun? And what happened next?
After throwing my head at him, it kind of knocked him back. Loosened his grip, so I was able to get my hand completely around it, and my other hand on it. Once I had my other hand on the gun, I remember being hit somewhere in this area, like a punch.
Good afternoon, Miss Shirley.
That would be what part of your body? Which my right shoulder. All right, so what happens next?
Hey, Kimberly. Good morning. Nope, it wasn't. And it was a mistrial on hers.
Okay. And
So very surprising.
in your location on this diagram, are you still here in the front left portion of the car?
Yes, I would say somewhere around in that area.
And you said you start firing.
Hey, Nina.
Just what? One time, two times? Do you remember how many times you shot?
I don't. I just pointed and squeezed.
And what did Devin do?
He started moving towards this area and somewhere around.
So basically, he said he wrestled the gun. He said once Delvin unalived, shot Lyric, that Delvin told him, you know what time it is. So he basically said he put two and two together. Basically, he wrestled him for the GUN. He got it out of his hand. He shot him. And they asked him how many times. He says he don't know how many times. But this is defense. Prosecution got him to say, like one time, two times, three times.
As someone who was at fault
And it
for
was
a car
more
accident,
than
here's what we
two
don't want
times.
the other person to know.
He wasn't just
We
trying
don't want you
to
to
neutralize the threat. He was trying to kill KILL him.
Honestly, couldn't really. I didn't know it was good. I just.
Did you eventually get back in your car? And did you leave immediately, or did you have to do something first?
Well, when I had got back in the car, had seen that his body, some of his legs were still kind of in this area around here where the green is. And I didn't want to pull out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Chance of me possibly.
And then
or something like that.
What did you do?
So I got out. Trying to get his body out of the way of the road. And he was face down, so it wasn't really helping. So I ended up taking my jacket off. I had camouflage jacket on, took that off. And then took off my quarter zip. I had a black quarter zip under that. Kind of threw it on him and used that to flip his body over so that I could pull him on a little bit more above.
took the time to he did a lot. He moved the body. He took time to flip the body over. Not once calling 911. Not once saying he felt fear of his life. Not once. Not once.
Cap, are y'all moving that into evidence?
Yes. I asked to introduce this picture that was drawn by Mr. Ross into evidence as Defense Exhibit 1.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, defense one will be admitted.
So, Mr. Ross. Oh, yes. Mr. Ross, after you moved Devin's body out of the roadway, what did you do next?
I got into the car and I went back onto Buckhorn.
Where did you go?
I ended up at a gas station. I noticed the car wasn't really moving. I knew it was on empty, but at the time I had practically forgot, and I don't want to say disengage the safety brake that was on. It's kind of a thing that you step on. And so the car was moving kind of slow, and that caught my attention. I looked and saw that the car was still on empty. And I thought that was the car about to just give up on gas and leave me on the side of the road.
Now, in between your trip from this service road on Buckhorn in the gas station, what did you do?
I seen Devin's bag was still in the car. I had put the gun on the passenger seat, and his phone was also in the car. And I stopped, I got out, and I just chucked him into the trees.
And this was on Buckhorn?
Around or at Buckhorn, yes.
Okay. And so then you go to the gas station.
Guilty.
What happens at the gas station?
Guilty.
I get gas. I end up hitting a concrete pole, I would say. Either it's like a small thing that you might see in the front of a gas station or something, like one of those concrete poles or the thing lifting it up.
Now, when you leave the gas station, you don't go straight home. Where do you go next?
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up. You could qualify for up to $300,000 or more in compensation.
So, yes, girl, yes. So basically, he took this boy's bag, took the boy phone. They still have never ever recovered it, and he tossed it in some trees. Yeah.
I went back to the area of the scene. I had trouble finding it, but I had left my Under Armour hoodie there. Well, not really a hoodie, it was a quarter zip, but I had left it there, and I was just going back to grab it.
Okay. And after you got your jacket or quarter zip,
You went back to the crime scene to grab your jacket.
Based on where it was at, it was still near his body, which was also near her body, and I got sick. After that, I went home, collected myself.
Hey, Free.
Tried to center myself back, and I just went home.
So he got caught because he was talking to a dude named Christian Sykes. Y'all should look that testimony up for real. But he got caught because he was talking to him, and he told him everything. He even told him every movement that he was gonna make and where he was going to live and everything. So that's how he got caught.
Now you had your phone. Why didn't you call the police?
It's a number of reasons. Prime reason, I was just strewn out. I was strewn out all over the place.
What does that mean? What do you mean by strewn out? What does that mean?
It just, honestly, if I were to describe it, it just felt like my brain.
Because there was no neutral witnesses, girl. There was no. That's why I was saying, like, he really could have got away with this. On God, he really could have, but he wouldn't open his mouth because at the end of the day, there was no witnesses, none. But you went and told the real story.
I was afraid. Honestly, I just wanted to go home, and that seemed like the answer to all of my problems at the time.
Yeah, because Tyrese want to let you know he was messing with him.
So you get home. What happens when you get there?
I go to my bedroom.
Like nothing happened.
I tried to lay down on my bed after kicking my clothes and shoes off. And I'm just pretty much in there just awake, staring at nothing, just thinking, and
Hey,
I tell myself
Terry.
that I'm gonna
I
start
know you
trying
had
to
to say
find a
it.
lawyer so that I could end up turning myself in however I would have gotten
Thank you
in,
so much, Terry.
but so that I could turn myself in at a later date.
So do you pretty much stay up the whole night?
I need to put that on that
Pretty
ticker
much, yes.
instead of my Cash App.
Next morning, what happens?
My mom, I would say, she wanted me to she wanted me to take my younger siblings to the park that was across the street from the apartment building that we were living in, and I took them to the park.
And what happened after that?
On our way back in, she met us out there. She had seen her car, because you have to pass the car to get to where the park is.
All right, so boom.
She seen the car, saw the bumper was
Y'all, so
messed
after
up,
this, he jump
and,
states, right? He jump states. Let me get back to where I was. But this is what did I do with it? Because I want y'all to hear what the judge told him. So here's the one with the boyfriend. Can I search it? Let me get this out of here. Dang, I thought I moved it to the top. Shit. Let me just type his name in. That was so sad. The mama of Lyric. Oh God, y'all, it was so sad. Okay. So this is what the judge told him, and then
we want to do right by them. So we choose real ingredients, quality.
We are following breaking news in the murder trial of Issiah Ross. He's accused of killing Devin Clark and Lyric Woods back in 2022.
Today, a judge announced it has reached a decision on the charges related to Clark's murder. Clark, keep in mind, is from the Piedmont Triad, but the jury is split on charges linked to Woods' death. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake has been in the courtroom throughout the entire trial in Orange County. Amber, can you explain more about today's revelation?
Yeah, guys, I mean, this has been a long time coming. Trial started on January 12th, and we've been here every single day for this trial. The jury has sat through hours of testimony, hours of evidence, and they've been in deliberation for now 2.5 days, going on 3 days tomorrow, and they still are not at a decision. So whenever the bailiff came in with a letter from the jury to the judge read it out, and it's just like what you said, Devin Clark's death. They have Devin Clark, who began weeks ago.
That's not the one. It's in my. Here you go, right here.
Thank you. Stand up, Mr. Ross.
All right, there we go, y'all.
it is always a heavy heart that comes to a case that involves young people. There's nothing worse for us as a community and us as a people, let alone as those who are family members and are missing those crucial parts on everybody. To lose 2 lives forever and a substantial part of another. We gain nothing. We just lose. Mr. Ross, there's lots of people who've written about the grief and loss, especially when one loses a child or a brother, a person who's become a brother.
Do not get a consolidation loan until you see this. Hey, Mario Lopez here, and if you're thinking about getting a
One I read recently talked about the memories of those that we love stay with us, but it's the emptiness for the memories that don't exist, for the conversations that never get to happen, the emptiness of celebrations that never occur. It's that emptiness that those who are left with that grief find just to be a vacuum in who they are. It never, ever can be filled. And in so many ways, your decisions have left your family in the very same situation.
She is right. She is.
Actions that early morning, every one of them, have devastated and left people empty and scarred, and that will not go away, Mr. Ross. And that was because of the decisions you made. I did where whatever gun was used that night is. I don't know.
No gun.
Where Mr. Clark's phone is that maybe could have told us more about what happened. I do not know why so many shots were fired and how many of those shots occurred while people were running.
Did you hear that? Let me go back. What she said?
Mr. Clark's phone is that maybe could have told us more about what happened. I do not know why so many shots were fired and how many of those shots occurred while people were running or had their backs turned. But it paints a horrible, horrible picture. One of fear and of terror and unmitigated loss. You heard from one of the moms who talked about how her son is going to walk across the stage and how part of what he's going to do is be carrying Devin Clark with him. You're going to spend a substantial time in jail. You are still going to be able to at least talk to your family. And someday, potentially, you will see them.
Absolutely.
Touch them again. To be able to sit down and celebrate life with them. Devin will never, ever have that opportunity. He will never have the opportunity to be there for the.
I'm gonna pause it, and that's what I think that people really need to understand. He may one day have the chance, just like Holly, to go back and see their family, hug their kids, but the person that's gone can never do that again. And she is showing him so much sympathy. She really is, because some judges will dig in that ass. But here's the thing: he didn't have. The positioning of the shots was not correct, right? That's how they found out he was lying. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with Miss Holly. Okay, when they find out, oh, she wasn't close. She wasn't coming towards you. It's coming. And they can keep on preaching, keep on hollering, keep on. But why was there so many shots? Okay? Why was there so many shots? That's set in my soul so deep. Like, why did you have to shoot so many times just to neutralize what you may have been in fear of? Right? Where was the imminent danger? Why did you not call the police? They actually asked him, his defense team, which I feel like was a crazy question to be on a defense. What were you doing while he was doing this with Lyric? You were standing there. That's a lie. You get what I'm saying? If you were standing there, why didn't you take off and run? Why didn't you go take off and call the police? Y'all all had phones. So that's why when I was listening, I was like, this is crazy because people think that it's so easy. And then again, it may not be. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what the charges are going to end up being? Who knows if the first degree is going to stick? But I guarantee you a second degree is going to stick. This man there was no witnesses. There's a bunch of witnesses when it comes to Holly and Romika. There was not one witness to say this man was telling the truth or not telling the truth beside himself. Okay? Beside himself. And he still didn't get off. He still got 250 to 300 months, which is 20 to 25 years. Okay? It's not as easy as y'all think. If he couldn't get off by being there with just them three people and saying that Buddy pulled a GUN out on him, and that's what made him, he couldn't even get off that way. Y'all think she getting off with all these witnesses? They gonna want to ask the same questions. Why so many shots? Why you ain't called the police? What was you doing at the time that he was over there arguing with her? Oh, it's all coming. It's a lot of questions that you gotta answer. Miss Mamas, I don't care how much these people thank you so much for I don't care how much these people talk about all right. They can keep screaming free Holly till it's backwards, but it ain't gonna happen. The judge was showing empathy and sympathy to the families, both of the families. She showed it to him. She knows he's still young. You know what I'm saying? He made a stupid ass decision. Like she said, you had a choice. You had a choice. Just like on September 8th, that girl had a fucking choice. He made sure they was dead. I wonder how many rounds the GUN had. I don't even know. But he did that. Move the bodies and all. She's so compassionate. You know what it is? It's because damn, all these young people, y'all just can't get right. What's going on? And some of it does come down to the parents, because why don't nobody know where their children is? He could have got away if he didn't tell his gay lover. He could have got away. Like, y'all, he told that boy everything. I mean, everything. And he had the proof to show it in his Snapchat receipts. She pointed out all the details. She asked man, listen. Man, listen. It was very much so. It was. And then you got to think about it. In this situation of Holly and Romika, that girl wanted to keep shooting. Okay? If the GUN had not jammed, she wanted to keep shooting. So that's a fact. But let me tell you a little secret. I couldn't sneak out the house to save my life. Okay? I never snuck out the house because I couldn't. I couldn't sneak out the house to save my life because my grandmother had the thing on the door as soon as you opened it. This was back in the 90s. Soon as you opened that door, that thing said front door open. Hey, Fifi, and it went off, and she knew that. My grandmother had, I don't know if y'all know what they is, but you had to pull it by this string, this gray thing. She had shutters on the windows. When them shutters went down at them certain times, she could hear them shutters going up. You know what I'm saying? But she did have the thing on the door, baby. It said front door open, back door open. And if you even tried and didn't know the code to the house, it was gonna go off and the police coming to the door. So I don't know. They just, they ain't the same nowadays. But shit, I couldn't get out the house. For real. But I just came to show y'all. Like, on Romika supporters ask the right questions. Y'all know. They want to know why so many shots. Why would you have kept shooting if the GUN had not jammed? They want to know, you know what I'm saying? We kind of know that it wasn't a close shot. We know that it was far away. We also know that she had time to call the police. We also know that she didn't before or after. You know what I'm saying? So those things matter when you're trying to claim self-defense. Those things matter. Okay? And she didn't do it. She didn't follow any of those protocols to fit a self-defense claim, just like he didn't. So now this boy has been sentenced for only one. They could not come to a decision on Lyric. I don't know why it was so hard. I don't know why. I don't think they actually told why. So it's a mistrial on Lyrics. But of course, they're gonna retry him. They're gonna retry him. They already got a conviction on the boy, so now they finna retry him again. I don't think he was scared. So basically, they already had evidence, but they let him to. Yes. Uh-huh. He wanted to be put out like he wanted it to be put out like he was scared, um, and that he was just reacting. He felt like his life was in danger. But what I don't understand is the level of force. That's why everything was so hard to prove for him. That went beyond self-defense. That went beyond self-defense. So basically, they already, yes, I read that one. It's a lot of factors. It's a lot that factors into self-defense. That we as non-attorney don't think about. For real, it is a lot. And when I was watching this, I was like, oh my God. Because she straight up asked him, why so many shots? And I was like, damn, for real. For real. Yes. But do you think he didn't do the girl? I think he didn't I think he did the girl. I think he was pissed off. I think he was pissed off because he thought he was finna too, and he ain't get a chance to, okay, and he got angry. And he speaks very good. He sounds so educated. But at the same time, that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like people out here talking about she's soft spoken and oh, she's so okay. The judge gonna read between all of that shit. All of it. It's okay. He did both, but the juror's not seeing it that way. But the next ones will. The next ones will. Cause see, this next one ain't gonna focus on both of them. Now all they got to do is really focus on her. You know what I'm saying? And on Christian Sykes' testimony of him telling him that he had to turn around and do her because she seen everything. So that's all I had, y'all. I'm gonna jump off of here. Thank y'all for coming in and watching. I appreciate y'all. I don't know. I might see what I got next and be back either later or tomorrow. But y'all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see y'all around. He's not gonna get off because he made the conscious decision. He made a decision, absolutely, when he didn't call them police and when he decided to overkill. Thank you, baby. How many shots matter? A lot. You need to stop driving and talking. Oh, you text talking. I'm gonna need you to use your fingers. See y'all later. Love y'all.